Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
After Guam, si Rod's Gimp introducing the 2020 Toyota Tacoma Access Cap T-Max. Este na mes, kung may promo United Airlines, $1,000 United vouchers. After nananga, sadik man manono si Tacoma, Guam, Tacoma territory. Sexy Rod's ginagi Atkins Pro Toyota, 671-788-2584. Alumbray, go si Rod's, sinanagan sa 671-788-2584. After nananga, let's go places. Many accolades and celebrations.
Oh shit. Buenas, Micronesia. I'm Troy Torres. Welcome to our studios here in Tumon, Guam. We're obviously not ready for the show yet. Am I looking at the right camera?
Which camera is it?
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah.
Sorry. How's everyone doing in your isolation, blah, 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 blah? It's getting boring, right? Please do not do things that will incite violence in your homes because family violence has been at the top of the magistrate's reports. There are a couple that came out today about, one was an assault. One is actually a very scary one. There was a guy, let me bring this up.
I haven't read any of
Oh, it's pretty bad actually. And it's actually very scary and it's very creepy. In the second magistrate's report today, People of Guam versus 21-year-old Uiong John, born in 1999. He's charged with terrorizing as a third-degree felony, 4 counts, and there's 4 counts because they involve 4 children. Harassment as a petty misdemeanor and disorderly conduct. According to prosecutor Alyssa Draper Dehart, in her declaration of probable cause, she says that at around 1:41 p.m. yesterday, police officers responded to a call in Inarahan where some children reported that they had been chased by a man with a knife. Upon arrival, officers spoke to a person who stated that 4 of her neighbor's children ran to her and asked to call police. The 4 children who were ages 13, 10, 8, and 11 reported that they were at, sorry, I had to do the math in my head from their birthdays. reported that they were at one of the children's homes playing while an older brother slept in his bedroom. They noticed Uyong John, the defendant, standing outside by the jungle near their residence, smiling like a creep, then went into the jungle like a super creep. The four children then went to see what the defendant was doing when he then ran out of the jungle holding a knife and starting to chase them. The children ran into the house and locked the door. The defendant then started kicking the door and screaming in Chukis. One of the children understood and said that the defendant said he was going to beat them up. Another child was frightened and thought that he was going to kill them. The defendant then walked to the back of the house and threw a rock toward the kitchen window. However, the window didn't break. One of the children tried to wake the older brother. However, he did not wake up. The children then ran into a bedroom and locked the door. Later, when they looked outside and saw the defendant go into another house, the children ran to a neighbor to ask for help. While conducting a check at the residence named by the children, a male later identified as the defendant attempted to climb out a window in the back. After receiving permission from a resident at the home, officers located several knives, with the children identifying one of them as the knife used by the defendant. That could have ended real bad if these kids weren't, didn't have the presence of mind to run back in the house, lock the doors. It looks like police responded right away. Thank you to the neighbor who helped these kids out and called the police. But that's a scary thing. I'm trying to think if I was like 11 years old, 8 years old, and someone, behind my house was came out of the jungle and started smiling and then ran back into the jungle like something out of a scary, creepy movie. I would be creeped out by that. And then he comes back, running back out with a knife. This crazy world we live in. Almost as crazy as this pandemic. To deal with the craziness of the pandemic, well, let me see if there's any news that came from, pardon me, we have mugshots. Let me get you the mugshot. We can cast to my screen, right?
Yeah. Bring my check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Mic one.
Yeah.
Oh, there. I hear you.
You hear
Go-
me now?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and cast to my screen so people can see who. Oh, it's Yutong, not Yuiong. Well, I don't know. It's spelled differently in the magistrate's report. Yutong John. That's him.
And they live in Iran?
Yes. Yeah. It's
Strange.
I guess the neighbor. It's the neighbor or something. That's a creepy story, I'll tell you that. The creepiness of the pandemic continues with the numbers. We don't have any new numbers today. As of last night, the numbers increased by almost 22% from 37 to 45, an increase of 8 in just one day, which is a huge increase. But, the doctors told us this was coming. Mm-hmm. The infectious curve hasn't been blunted, so this is what's going on. For a few days now, the government, Dr. Mike
Expect those
Cruz,
numbers to rise.
Yeah.
As long it's gonna rise. I believe there's a lot more out there.
And this doesn't include now it's 23 aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. At least as of this morning, it was 23. I don't know what the numbers are now, but the Navy did say that they're not, they're going to start to withhold some information, not just on Guam, but around the world, because for the operational security of their mission throughout the world. The idea is they don't want our enemies knowing where we are vulnerable in terms of COVID-19 infections that are able to take down an entire fleet or base or things like that. So while
when we reported this morning, there was people's concern like, how are we gonna get 5,000 test kits? How are we gonna? I am pretty sure that the federal government is taking care of that. I don't think it's going to affect, according to the governor, it's not going to affect anything that Guam has going on.
Yeah, and we want them to have the test kits. Mm-hmm. We should want them because they're the ones protecting us. I want to know that Theodore Roosevelt is going to be back up and ready to protect. This is the carrier that's in our region, that's forward deployed here to protect this region, which is like one of the biggest hotspots for trouble for some of our enemies against the United States. So,
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have sons and daughters of Guam who are aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. And so we should wish all of them, not just the sons and daughters of Guam, but everyone aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt, wellness, health for those who are sick, quick recovery. This is a growing crisis for the U.S. Navy because, you know, just like the Diamond Princess, right?
Yes.
A ship is, you know, everyone's sort of in close quarters. The risk for the spread of infection is so much greater than it would be in a community where people are able to go into their homes and all that stuff, right? In a ship, it's very different, just like Diamond Princess, which at its last count had 712 confirmed cases of COVID-19.
And 2 deaths or 9.
Was it 2 deaths? I don't know how many deaths. I have no idea.
I'm
I
not
didn't even
good.
look at that.
I don't remember numbers this way you do. So.
Oh, I never even saw it. I was just looking for the confirmed cases. But the USS Theodore Roosevelt is an aircraft carrier. It has 5,000 sailors aboard. But what makes it different from the Diamond Princess and more susceptible to infection spread is that unlike the Diamond Princess, people are coming and leaving from that floating airfield all the time because of the nature of the mission that they have. The planes leave the deck, they come back onto the deck, and they take people away and they carry people in. So what the Navy has done is docked the USS Theodore Roosevelt at Apra Harbor. This morning, we have pictures of it. Do we have video? No, right?
Just pictures.
Just pictures of the aircraft carrier at whatever pier that is. Is that Kilo Wharf? Ammo Wharf? That's what it is? That's the only place where... Oh, that's where they do the ammo. So according to Dave Werner, who's the spokesman for U.S. Pacific Fleet Command, they're not going to leave the pier,
Right.
except for those who are transported to Naval Hospital.
For treatment.
Yes, and hospitalization. So we wish everyone aboard there the best of luck, the best health, and I don't know about you, but I feel pretty confident that the Navy is going to handle this.
I do too.
Yeah. The title of our show is Money, Car Loans, and Payless is Cookie Monster.
Payless has a Cookie Monster,
Wait,
guys.
We'll save that one for the end.
Well, since I know you wanted to get on the phone and talk to a couple senators about how this is going to help Guam, but I went online, I made a few phone calls, and this is the information. You might want to get a pen and a piece of paper, write this down, or your notes on your phone. The specific banks here on Guam, I just went with the popular ones. So for First Hawaiian Bank, I believe it's a case-by-case basis, and their phone number is...
Wait, this is for car loans?
This is for car loans, your mortgage, personal loans.
Okay.
You need to contact your own, your bank. It's a case-by-case basis, except Coast 360. They're giving you a 3-month deferment, okay, guaranteed, but you have to start the process.
So you have to call them.
You
or
have
go
to
visit them?
email them or call them. The email should you just need to leave your name and contact number, and that will initiate the process for personal, auto, and mortgage. That's Coast 360.
Oh, neat.
First Hawaiian Bank, their phone number is 808-844-4444. Bank of Hawaii, they're offering assistance, but you need to initiate the process. As far as what kind of assistance, I'm not sure. But that website address is www.boh.com. What is that thing called?
//
Yeah. COVID Assist. COVIDASSIST. So Bank of Hawaii is www.boh.com/COVIDASSIST.
Bank of Hawaii, son.
Yeah, so you just need to go to that website, and then it'll bring you to, so you just let them know what kind of hardships you're having. They're willing to assist.
Okay, cool.
Next one is Bank Pacific. There's nothing out. They haven't put anything out. So this is their phone number, 479-1159, and that's Bank Pacific. NFCU, they are willing to assist in this crisis. You just have to go to their webpage, and then they'll tell you where you need to go, and that's at nfcu.me.
Cool.
Community First is cfirst.com. That's their website. And I believe the phone number is 472-8210. That's 472-8210.
Is it C First or C First Guam?
cfirstguam.com.
cfirstguam.com.
cfirstguam.com. And Community First is pretty good. You just let them know what you're going through. They're pretty good with their customers. PenFed is penfed.org. I don't have any information on there. I just know that they're a bank here in Guam. So if you just go to their website, you can get their phone number so you can ask for help or whatever needs to get done. Now, GPA, GWA, they extended the disconnection period up until April 16. Okay, but
BIBA, GPA, GWA.
but people, you need to remember, you're gonna have a bill, so you're gonna have to pay it. As far as the dates, as far as them postponing that date, well, we won't know. We just have to know where Guam is with this pandemic as we get closer to that date. So April 16, I believe, is the date they extended it to. But if you can put some money in there, put it in there. Don't wait for it to build up, and then in the end, you're screwed. So also for ITNE, ITNE will work with you. Just call your friends at ITNE. They will help you if you are having hard times. And I believe they're also not disconnecting. As far as the other carriers, I'm not sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. This is really great information for people to know. Thank you so much for
these are the things that
chasing
matter,
down. Yeah.
Troy.
Yeah.
You know, our car
Absolutely.
loans, our rent. You're going to go into the rent thing.
Yeah, so Congress is, the reason we're talking about car loans, credit card payments, personal loans is because according to the economic rescue plan from Congress that the Senate just passed and that is expected to pass sometime later today in the House of Representatives, and when that happens, it will be signed immediately by the president, according to him. It provides a whole bunch of cash assistance to people and help with mortgages and rent, but it doesn't go into things like car loans, credit card payments, personal loans, and things like this. That's why we thought it was kind of important to discuss this. And we're going to talk about local efforts that might be coming about with Senators Jim Moylan and Tello Taitigui. But first, just to explain some things coming out of this federal package, cash assistance for those who have a social security number and file taxes for tax years 2018 or 2019. If you haven't filed your taxes for tax years 2018 or 2019, don't worry. There are mechanisms where you can do that. You can file your taxes by going online at www.myguamtax.com. Again, are you able to put that on the screen, Cello, so people can see it? www.myguamtax.com. There are certain provisos to it, like you have to register, and it's a simple process. If you have not filed taxes in the last 5 years, you will not be able to avail of the online option. But there are forms on myguamtax.com that you can download and print so that you can avail of the mail-in or the Dropbox option. And I'll give you that information in just a second. So once again, to file taxes online for 2018 or 2019 tax years, the website is www.myguamtax.com. If you download those tax forms, fill them out by hand, and you want to mail them in to Revenue Tax, you can do so at Post Office Box 23607. Again, P.O. Box 23607, Barragata, Guam 96921. Once again, that Post Office Box is 23607, Barragata, Guam 96921 to mail in your tax return. Or you can drop it off directly at a drop box that's right outside the Department of Revenue and Taxation building in Barragata Heights. You know, the big warehouse looking thing where you go
Where
for
DMV's
DMV.
at. Yeah.
Do we need, so there's the website address that it's appearing, and Chelo, are you also gonna put up the mailing address?
Stand by. You know, I'm gonna have to create a whole graphic page for that, Chelo.
Oh, it's okay. I'll create the meme and I'll send it out on WhatsApp and I'll put it on Facebook and stuff. If you want to get direct news alerts from me, you can save my number in your contacts, and send me a message that says, "Hi, my name is," and then give me whatever your name that you want to give me. If you want your name to be Mickey Mouse, your name can be Mickey Mouse.
Or Debbie.
Or Debbie.
Debbie Does Dallas. Or whatever name you want.
Just don't give a male kind of.
What about Seymour Butts?
Don't ask me to save you a Seymour Butts because
he will show you his butt.
I have a boyfriend, so I can't be having contacts.
Do it so he can show you his butt.
I can't have contacts like that in my phone popping up on my screen. Seymour Butts is calling.
Or Ben.
So if you WhatsApp me your name and say, please add me to this, and you make sure that you add me as a contact on your phone, I will add you to our WhatsApp thing. And my number is 671-456-4237. That number again is 671-456-4237. So that is the cash assistance portion. And so this is what, if you have a social security number and you filed taxes in either 2018 or 2019, you will be able to get a one-time, when this bill passes Congress, you'll be able to get a one-time $1,200 check from the federal government. Now, as to when that will come, that's up to the Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation to work with the IRS and setting up the program with them. If you have a husband or a wife and you guys file jointly or separately, then your husband or wife also will be able to avail of the $1,200. If you have children, each of those kids is $500. Johnny doesn't know it yet, but I'm adopting all of her kids and her grandkids. The reason she doesn't know is because she's going to keep them. I'm also adopting Eric's nephews and nieces.
Even if he does it, I'm still just going to take his money. It don't matter. This is the best relationship ever, guys.
And I extend the offer to all of you. I think it's a very good deal. I will adopt all of your children. You get to keep them. They get to have your care and love, and I will adopt them. And I will write them up for that $500 each. So that's the cash assistance portion of the congressional plan. Now there is a pandemic unemployment insurance program that does apply to Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. And all told, it's $930 in basically a paycheck every week. For the duration of this crisis. So basically that's $1,860 every 2 weeks. That's quite a bit of money, I think, for most people. This is for the unemployed and the furloughed. And then there is, gosh, what is the other help? Is that something?
Yeah.
What is it?
I said to go back.
What's the?
He has the goods on some stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
Sam, hold on. Uy. Okay. Well, let's get through this program so we can take that phone call.
Yes.
Okay. So, boy, I just lost my train of thought there. $930 for the unemployed and furloughed workers. For employers, you are going to get you are going to be able to avail of payroll tax credits. Depending on the size of your company, if you have more than 100 employees, you're going to get payroll tax credits on the wages of 50% of the wages that you pay out. If you're like most Guam companies and you have 100 or fewer employees, then you will get a payroll tax credit for 100% of the wages of your employees.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. And so workers, the unemployed, the furloughed, they're being covered in this package. The other thing that's covered is help with mortgages and rentals. So I'm not entirely clear on whether Congress is mandating that rent does not have to be paid forever and ever for a 4-month period. What I do know is that for a 4-month period, renters cannot be evicted.
Right.
120 days. According to the congressional plan, renters cannot be evicted. For those who have mortgages, you will not have to pay a mortgage for 6 months, 180 days. Interest will accrue, but all of that will be sent to the back of your mortgage, to the end of your mortgage. So basically, you're taking this 6-month period and putting it at the end of your mortgage period for an extension of 6 months. So it's a pretty good deal for people who have mortgages that are federally backed, meaning you got your mortgage at a bank on Guam, and that mortgage was backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or something. So most mortgages are federally backed on Guam. So it would apply to just about everybody who has a mortgage.
Can I just say, we have a lot of questions, small businesses, home-based businesses. I have a lot of questions for for what we do here as a small business. Even with the GRT. Guys, as soon as we get this information, we promise you, we will send it out. This is moving forward. Now, nobody's receiving any money right now. So we have to work with the government. We have to work with everybody needs to work together to make sure that the people receive these things that once the president signs it, we need to figure out how we're going to get it to Guam into our hands. The reason why there's a lot of questions is because we don't trust our own government. And that is very sad. So we promise you here at Kandit, we will do our best to keep everybody accountable. We will give you the information as soon as we get it, and we want to give you the right information. But to be very honest with you, my main concern is the little people, okay? The people that have lost their jobs, the people who have been furloughed, the people who don't have any more money to buy any more food. So that is my main focus. But as soon as the information comes, and a lot of the information I'm waiting for by the congressman. So, and he's a busy guy. So all your questions that come in through Messenger, all the questions that I don't know about, but I can ask somebody, please send it to Kandit's Messenger. You can even WhatsApp me at 671-922-6397. That's the Kandit WhatsApp with your questions, so I can ask the right questions. But our main concern is the people who are at home with their children and they already have run out of money to buy food, to live normally.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for that.
So,
thank you. So the governor today announced that she'll be signing an executive order. And when we were listening to the news on it, I thought, this isn't news, this is a duplication of the congressional effort. So according to the governor in her news conference today, she's going to be signing an executive order to prevent evictions until the end of the emergency, which has now been slated as April 16, or just basically in the next 2 weeks, to suspend evictions. Well, the act of Congress already does that, and it does it for 120 days.
I have a problem with her address of just her postponing it up until April 16. That just tells you how far the governor is mentally. Okay, she's only at April 16. She stops there. I'm not sure why it is the way it is, but I can almost guarantee you, as soon as we get closer to that April 16th, she's gonna let the people know she's extended it, okay? When it should just be extended for 60 days, 120, whatever Congress is, if they can do it, we can do it. So as soon as, you know, let's just, I have really tried not to be angry at this administration. I'm trying to figure out how we can get the information out without sounding so rude and mean, but this is what it really is. Our governor is her brain stops at April 16. So as soon as we get closer to April 16, she's probably gonna say, okay, I'm extending it to May 30 or whatever, because this pandemic is Guam's gonna grow in it, and that is according to our doctors, everything the doctors and our governor's on hope. Well, I hope this and I hope that. No. We're not hoping. Okay? This is what's happening. So as soon as we get closer to April 16, I'm pretty sure things will be extended because we didn't do the things that needed to be done in order to stop this virus from getting us.
I think her brain stops on March 15th. So
I'm even sweating. The aircon's on me and I'm sweating because it just drives me crazy. And I really feel for the people who are asking questions. What about after April 16? What about I can't buy food? I want to give that person money to buy food, you know? I mean, there's a lot more people suffering during this time. It may not have been a typhoon, but I remember when I was a kid, when we had a typhoon, I remember getting in line. Both my parents worked, they had money, but at the time it was a disaster. So we got in line. And my mom would get these, like it was rubber band booklets of food stamps. It was the paper food stamps.
Was it Pangsona or is this Paka?
Paka. I wasn't here for Pangsona. Okay? I was off island. But we would get these booklets because the governor declared a state of emergency, or what is it called?
Governor Carl Gutierrez.
Okay.
Guam was a federal disaster area.
Yeah. So the governor, just to let you guys know, she has a chance to declare this island that, and she hasn't. I don't know why she should, because all the people that don't have voices, the ones that are at home who have lost their jobs already, the ones that are on food stamps already, on public assistance, their kids have been home. I'm pretty sure the food has been wiped out already. And if she just declared this one emergency, we would be able to get FEMA here and they could pass out the food and what really needs to be passed out right now.
So it makes us wonder, you know, why is the governor spending this time creating a program that Congress has already created for the renters? So they're, you know, on the stopping evictions. Why isn't the governor doing things about the food issue?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't the governor doing anything about the anxiety and the worry that people have about the repossession of their property or being taken to court for this, that, or the other thing? But more importantly, car repossessions, which could happen at the drop of a hat. And this is why we brought you the information about what banks currently are offering. But if there was something that the governor or the Guam legislature could do in the way of augmenting or supplementing the federal program that already covers rent, already covers mortgages and cash assistance, maybe the local government can do something about stopping car repossessions or doing something so that in these months of the emergency, the car loan payments are handed off to the back end of the loan term. And so we're going to talk to, who should we call first, Tello or
Tello.
Jim?
Tello.
Okay.
This is Hello.
Hi, Senator. This is Johnny and Troy.
Hi, Johnny. Hi, Troy.
Half
Say
day.
hi to Kandit Land.
Off the Kandit audience.
So a lot of our viewers wanna know, inquiring minds wanna know, how can the government of Guam do something to allay people's fears about their car loans going into default and their cars being repossessed?
Troy, I did reach out to the Lieutenant Governor a couple of days ago. Actually, sent a letter, more than about 3 days ago, sent a letter to the Lieutenant Governor as well as the Governor asking to address this through the executive order. And I also sent a copy of the Governor of California's executive order doing just that, to avoid any eviction. So it went through today. Awesome. They put out an executive order that also protects individuals from being evicted.
So
Now,
that's for renters.
Is the cars. Now it's the vehicles that was brought to my attention. And I've already reached out to the Lieutenant Governor again and asked them, well, what about these cars that could be repossessed? And he said he would get back to me on it.
Okay.
So they'll be working on it, and I trust that he would do so. But, when it comes to cars and things like that, we also have to reach out to banks. Only from what I heard, Coast 360, Bank of Guam, but I haven't heard of all banks are willing to defer payment for a couple months. But if anyone has a vehicle out there that, you're going to be missing the car payment, then please let me know. And feel free to just give me a call or tell Troy.
How can people call you or email you? You want to give your information to Kandit Land?
No, you call my office. My office, if you call my office, there is somebody there, and we had the number forwarded to one of the of my staff. And so please feel free to call my office. They will answer it. Even at night, feel free to call my office at night too.
Okay.
And that number, can I give it to you, that number?
Yes, please.
Okay, 989-8356 or 989-TELO.
I was going to say, it spells Tello, doesn't it?
TELO, 989-TELO.
Are you aware that the speaker has called emergency session for Tuesday the 31st?
Yes, I am aware of that. I just got word on it, and I did send a message on the chat asking her, well, what's on the agenda? You're calling an emergency session, but they did not mention any bills that's going to be on the agenda.
So you're unaware of what it's about then?
Exactly. I mean, there should be some transparency here. In fact, I was just talking to Jim Wayman about 5 minutes ago, and he was saying, good question. What's going to be on the agenda? We're putting ourselves at stake and our staff and people down at the legislature, in basically harm's way. If we're going to do that, let's do it with a minimal amount of time spent there, but also be very conscious of what we're going to do before we get in there, so that we have a lot of these questions answered. My concern too is if we're going to go into session, we better have access to agencies and department heads to give us an update. I still haven't got an answer. I'm waiting. Where's the transparency? Come on.
You better make sure before you call those agency heads in that they weren't at a golf tournament in Manila.
Can you say that one again?
You better make sure before you call agency heads in, you better screen them to make sure that they weren't at a golf tournament in Manila.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also talking to Senator Chalahi today, earlier, and mentioned, I think it's time to go into session because, the 14th day actually ends on Monday. That's the 14 days from the time she told us to go into quarantine. And that, everyone seems to be okay. Thank God. Knock on wood. Hold on, let me knock on wood. Nobody's sick, and let's get into the session. And hopefully everybody has stayed in quarantine and not exposed themselves out there. So that being said, and then boom, I get this email that they're calling into session, but I really would like to know what we're going into session for first. It's not just going there because you're being pressured to go into session. Go there with a reason, a cause, something that's going to do something for the people of Guam.
They can't do
Not
Zoom?
just do it to show face. We got to be smart about this.
Senator, you guys can't do Zoom? Z-O-M-Z-O.
Yeah, that was another thing that was brought up. In fact, I'm going to read my mind, Johnny. I was going to call. It's already been about 15 minutes since I asked them what's going to be on the agenda, and no answer up to this time. My next question is, may I suggest that we all get on Zoom and discuss what's going to be on the session agenda, what's the plan to make sure that people are protected. I'm not going to send my staff in there. My staff is going to do this all by, at home.
Right.
They can send me things electronically, what I need, but I'm not going to put them in harm's way. So they'll be at home. But we need a plan.
Because right now it's not vacation.
Have a plan.
Right now it's not vacation time. This is the time we need you guys together to get things done for the island of Guam.
And what's the plan?
Right.
How are we going to do it?
There's Zoom. There's all kinds of things that can be done.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion that we do all get on Zoom as the senators. I mean, we have a chat, but let's get on Zoom, discuss what we're going to do, what bills we're going to put out there, we're going to push for,
right,
and tell the people of Guam and their needs and concerns. I know that Senator Chalahi wants to make sure that there is no backlash on the quarantine time from 10 to going to 30 days on a legal perspective. If we are going to, whatever we're going to do. And I have to say this, though, Johnny and Troy, I'm very grateful for the Lieutenant Governor taking my calls whenever I need it or texting. And it's working. They worked on the eviction. Hopefully we're going to get something on these car payments, as well as people who are running out of money to buy food. Like I said earlier, we have a huge amount of people who go to paycheck to paycheck, but there's an even bigger amount of people who float on the last paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
That is 95% of Guam. Right.
And there's no money for them to go to the grocery store very safely, to get any food. And what are we doing on that? Now, I put on my Facebook as much information I could with regards to assistance from Salvation Army to Catholic Social Services providing food.
Right.
So those are options there that people can seek assistance there. So
also, Kadu, if you donate to Kadu, they provide food. They in their kitchen. I saw that they donated food over to the MTM low-cost housing there, the Gura housing there. Whoever donated money into Kadu, you go to their Facebook page, the numbers there. You donate money, whatever you can, $10, $50, $100, and they have a program there, and they work with Minyelu, or how do you pronounce that? You work with them, and they go out, they make these meals, and they're dropping it off at places. That's awesome. So there's some programs,
but food trucks.
Right.
What about some of the food trucks that are there, doing that and going around and providing assistance there? So, but what about those individuals who have lost their jobs, they were laid off, not knowing if that employer is going to reopen?
Right.
Maybe it got hit so hard, and it's going to take more than, it's more than a week or 2 weeks predicted, but it's been extended another till April 13th. What are they going to do? Now, they need to find assistance right now. SNAP program, everything that they have, the assistance over public health. Can they do this over the phone, to start receiving some kind of assistance?
Right.
For those. So things like that we're trying to address too as well. I've been trying to look into how can we do this to make it a little bit easier for people. Because a lot of times people don't even have gas.
Right.
To even go get food if they could, even though the food is free. They don't even have money for gas.
Senator, thank you so much. Senator Jim Moylan's waiting for our call, so we're going to get to him now. Thank you. We have full faith that you're going to lead your minority into whatever bipartisan accord happens that gets the best bang for our buck, so that the people of Guam come out ahead.
So, I'm looking forward to a bipartisan support, but unfortunately, unless the Democrats, the the majority lets us know what's going on and stop keeping us in the dark. You know, it's like they're tying our hands so that we can't contribute. So it's very frustrating for us right now, especially if they're not telling us what's going on.
Well, Senator, you guys go fix that and go get us that money, because people are
Absolutely.
suffering.
Thank you so much.
Sonny.
Okay,
Thank you, Senator.
Give the kids for me.
I will. I will.
Okay, bye-bye.
That was Senator Tello Taidagui. She is working with the Lieutenant Governor. She's sending letters over there. There's supposed to be a hearing or
Session
a
on
session.
March 31.
March 31. We don't know what it's about. We're going to try to find out.
She's the minority leader, and it's the
I don't understand all that.
it's Kayla's first year anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah.
God bless her heart.
Oh, Senator Jim Moylan's on the phone. Hold on. Let's try this again.
Hey, Mike. Hi, Mel. Hi, Carl with the C. Hi, Kate. Hi, Shakina Martinez. Deneen. Hi, everybody.
Deneen found her dog.
I know, I saw that. I loved it. That was great news.
Is there any other good news? I thought
Yeah,
there was some-
HR 1365 was
right.
passed, so that's awesome news. Thank you, Congressman. The Manumcos can all get paid now, even the ones in the States. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, Senator Moylan's on the phone. Let's try to interrupt his phone call. On WhatsApp.
So all the Manumcos all over the world who have suffered, they're gonna be paid now.
I think he's on
Oh,
like a
hi
mobile
Jesse.
phone.
Hi Lena. Hi Alia. Hi Sister Mel. How's it in Jotnya? Hi Tanisha. Hi El.
Hi, this is Jim.
Hi, Senator. This is Johnny and Troy.
Hey.
Half a day.
Half a day. We just got off the phone with Senator Tello Taidagui, and she was talking to us about how the minority apparently is not aware yet what emergency session is for on March 31. But she was talking to us about ideas that might be going around to help put people's minds at ease about their car payments, car loans going into default, and their cars being repossessed. Can you talk to us about any ideas or willingness to toss around discussion about that on your end?
Sure, I'll be happy to. And during these hard times, of course, the lenders, there is a contract that we have that we had to fulfill for our lenders. But at the same time, like what's happening in the U.S., the lenders are giving some grace period, like mortgages and even for renters insurance, and likewise anybody that has a personal loan or a bank loan or an auto loan as well would be searching for that grace period.
Okay.
And I know some banks are doing it, but I'm not sure if all banks are doing it. But I can see from the bank's side, I surely wouldn't want 100 cars repossessed next month, nor would I know what to do with all those 100 cars. I'll probably more than likely try to give a grace period and maybe 120 days or so forth until this federal aid comes in for especially those that lost their employment because of the COVID-19.
Okay.
And then start the payment again too, because for that establishment, if I had my car loan and I was given that break, for my next car loan, I'll probably go back to that same bank. But if they didn't allow me some sort of latitude, I'll say, here, you can have your car, and I'm going to somebody else that is more willing to help me. So I'm sure the banks will be doing what they can, and I'm still looking into that. But it would be very helpful for the lenders, like what the federal government is doing for those with federally funded home loans And also the federal government has instructed landlords to, for people that rent who cannot pay for their residence. And phase 4, I understand the economic stimulus package that they're working on to compensate for the landlords to keep their tenants too. Because there's some really good tenants you just don't want to lose, but they're just going through some hard times, and you want to keep them another, so many years down the line. So I'm hoping that does happen, and for myself, what I like to do is help with getting more money in their pocket. And when we come back into session on Tuesday, I hope I can get my bill on the floor as well, which is reducing the liquid fuel tax back by 4 cents. I know the cost of fuel has come down because the price of the barrel has gone down. Mm-hmm. But what else can we do? If I can get that down another 4 cents, hey, that helps, right? It's
yes.
In addition, right? And maybe we can do this quicker than when that stimulus package comes down. It's something more, right? And then also I have the BBT reduction, which I've been advocating for since January, and I fought again for it during our budget hearing. But now maybe my constituents can see how important it is if we can help reduce the prices and help businesses, instead of paying more in taxes, but to keep their employee on a little longer while we wait for this stimulus package to come through. Any little amount could help the employer keep their employee. Last night I went down to my local restaurant down the street and placed my order to go, and there was I couldn't sit at the bar and wait for my food. I just had to stand up, but they had 6 employees there, and I was the only customer. I was talking to the manager there, and he says, Jim, we should actually close, but we're trying to stay afloat as long as we can to help our employees and keep them gainfully employed. So it's difficult, but so that stimulus package is there, but if we help by reducing the BBT, if we help with the liquid fuel tax, and the other one to include it with that BBT bill is the Dave Santos amendment. A lot of folks are in business know of that, and I'd like to see that increase to $500,000 and the first $250,000 to be tax free.
Yes.
That would really help small businesses right away to keep their doors open. So a whole bunch of things, and now that we're going to have session on Tuesday, we're back. I'm anxious to get back to work and introduce these bills if I can get it moving forward. Of course, you need the votes, right?
One of our viewers, Senator, asked a question that's very much related to something that you asked the governor to do, and I'm wondering whether you have any response from the governor, and it is about deferring property tax payments.
Oh, okay. We did get a response back from, Daphne Simizu, and I was referred to the Joint Information Center's report on 318. So there is something that they have established where I haven't read it all, actually. I'm just trying to bring it back up to you, for you, where filing your income taxes and property taxes, I believe here. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I just got to pull this one right up.
No problem.
But we did ask, and because we know that April will be the second increment, and it will be helpful if they didn't have to pay that second increment, and it could be put off later. And I just wanted to
without penalty or interest accruing.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
The penalties are what kill people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So if it's not in place now, yes, we have asked that, and I believe it could already be in place. I just have to find that document. So
if it's not in place, Senator, is that something you're willing to look into as some sort of either legislation standalone or an amendment to whatever legislation goes on the floor on March 31?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Certainly.
Cool. James Howard says, put that BPT at 2.5%.
I have something that maybe the senator can help with.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Senator Moylan.
Hi there, John.
Okay, there are a couple of essential workers, like let's say the ER staff that is accepting patients, or they're the registers at GMH, and there's other places too, right? That they put their life at risk. They're the ones that have to register these people. I just got word that they're receiving a 10% hazardous pay. How do we go about, because somewhere in the DOE guidelines it says that they should receive something else, something more than 10%. But apparently their bosses told them all these people who are putting their life on the line they're only getting 10%. Is there something that does that need to go through the legislature? How does that work? Are you aware of that?
For the nurses, I'm not sure, but we have introduced a bill regarding the peace officers, and like for the customs. The customs, who are also considered frontline, when they were coming in through the airport and
Right.
all this testing they had to do as well, and they carry weapons too, and they open all these containers, or all different hazardous situations, but they are only able to get their hazardous pay if by submitting a report to Department of Administration, and then which is reviewed there, and then comes back with more questions, and it either is approved or not approved or challenged. So
I'm talking about these essential workers that the governor has decided that they are essential workers. I'm talking about, I understand with the customs, I understand with the airport police, they all should be getting some kind of hazardous pay because they're police officers. I'm asking about the frontliners at the hospital, all these essential people.
Right.
That like let's, for example, Payless.
yes,
The owners at Payless are aware that their workers are frontliners because they have to keep open.
right.
Payless
Right.
is one of the stores here that have not raised their prices, but they have given their employees a $2 raise until
Right.
this is over, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm asking for, because the governor is saying these businesses and these government offices are essential.
Yes.
Is there anything that could give them, because they are frontliners, they're the ones registering the sick people, they have to be there. Is there something that the senators can do to have a guideline to make sure that these people get paid?
I'm sure there is, and I'm just thinking of what's coming down for the stimulus package from the federal government.
Okay.
One of that is the $117 million for different public health costs and loss of budget and BBT and so forth. But public health costs that could be considered into that.
Okay.
Justifying those hazardous conditions to give those workers on the front line, whether you're I guess then the checker at the convenience stores, or you're actually working as the nurse, or that guard that before you go up to the emergency room, right? Those folks as well. Sure, that's where
Senator,
I believe our
Senator, during any other type of emergency, like a typhoon, tsunami, activation, etc., right?
Right.
Once an emergency declaration is made and an emergency operations center is open, those who
Yes.
work the emergency are supposed to be receiving double pay. And on that double pay is how you measure hazardous pay after that double pay. What we understand, at least from GMH workers, is that they're not receiving the double pay.
They're not. They were just told that they were going to receive 10% hazardous pay.
And
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we
Versus
can,
the double
you don't have to answer this now, but if it's something that we can look into, maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, these are things that we're finding out were not in place and should have been in place. And just like the legislature, we should be able to operate remotely as well. And we don't have that in place because once we get through this, there's probably something new going to come down in the pipeline again. So now this is our time to bring it to our attention and bring some priorities up front that we must must make sure that we take care of before something else happens next.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Senator Moylan, for your time. We
You're
very
welcome.
much appreciate this. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Okay, you
All
have a
right.
good day.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So now the real fun part of our show. Should we take a
Yes, please.
let's take a 3-minute
sweating.
break, and then we'll come back to the Payless Cookie Monster. You're gonna want to stay with us for that.
Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
After Guam, si Rod's Greenpap introducing the 2020 Toyota Tacoma Access Cap T-Max. Este na mês, gasto mo yung promo ng United Airlines, $1,000 United vouchers. After nangga, sabik man manono si Tacoma, Guam, Tacoma territory. Text si Rod's ginagi Atkins Pro Toyota, 671-788-2584. Talumbray, go si Rod's, sinanagan sa 671-788-2584. After nangga, let's go places.
So it's not every day that we'll discuss what people write on Facebook regarding a complaint about a store or whatever. And many people have called up about price gouging here, there, and everywhere. There have been a few Paylesses, and hopefully...
There is 60 active...
60?
60,
Oh,
60
wow.
active price gouging investigations according to the AG.
Wow.
So people, your voices are being heard. According to the governor, she's going to take this very seriously, but she just hopes that the store owners aren't doing it. Okay?
We're going to take this very seriously.
Yeah. So, and she's hoping they're not doing it, even though they're doing it.
What I am hoping
You do that so well.
that the store owners are not doing that. I'm hoping Nick, Chris, Sabrina, that our AG is on top of this, because I cannot be on top of all of this. As you can see, I'm about to lose my mind. And I cannot even dye my hair because I shut down all of the beauty salons. I'm just kidding, Governor. I'm just kidding. So the reason I'm bringing this one post up by Angel Walter, who posted this in Guam Citizens Patrol, isn't because it was about price gouging, but it was because of racial profiling. And like I said this a few days ago, if you do anything stupid
We'll call you out on it.
during this crisis, we're gonna call you out on it. And of course, price gouging is one. But okay, so this is what Angel Walter writes, and it's pretty disturbing. She says, please everyone, do not shop at Payless supermarkets anymore. Payless supermarket is evil. You're only supporting the greedy rich, like the Calvos. They are greedy and also racist. Let's stand up and rise against these selfish corporate greedy mongers. Also, the head security for Payless Supermarket is a former cop who some say, and I'm not going to read the rest of that line, while Guam Police Department did nothing at all. The securities that work there with the black uniform and crap, they worship him like he's a god. They think they're cops. They profile Micronesians and follow them around the stores as if they're criminals. So to all Micronesians and locals, it's time to switch up and shop at Cost-U-Less or other supermarkets. I, too, was once profiled. I went inside Payless to try to get some snacks and refreshments, and this security wannabe cop kept staring at me, and I was like, WTF. Then he started following me around the aisle, and I got fed up and told him, why the F you following me, you B? Then he's like, calm down, and I was like, I'm not gonna calm down, you're profiling me. And I was like, are you racist? Look at the color of your skin, you're a brown chmoro. So I confronted him again about it, and eventually I got banned. Yeah. I went to Payless headquarters in Agania, which is the same building as Calvo's Insurance. While there, I decided to talk to Kathy Scrow, the secretary or vice president of Payless. I explained the tragic situation that unfolded in Payless. She told me that she would look into it and recommended that I talk to Mike Benito, the president of Payless Supermarkets, or whatever, which he never returned my call. So after meeting with Kathy Scrow, as I walked out of the building, headed to my car in the parking lot, a white car with dark tinted windows slowly stopped by, and guess who comes out? That leader of the security's former GPD. He has tattoos on his arms. Chubby looking. I know who they're talking about. Chubby looking and has that retarded dumb look on his face. He comes out with two of his armies, the black shirt securities, and they're going to surround me in a mob gang style. And when he's like, you better not go to the headquarters anymore, I was like, why? Which I was scheduled to meet with Kathy Scrow again. Then he actually said, you think Kathy Scrow is the one who runs this shiz? I do. I was actually shocked he would actually say that. So I feel like there's corrupted people in every corner of the world, and I feel it's my duty as a whistleblower and a law-abiding citizen to finally share the awful, humiliating experience I had endured from Payless Supermarket and its staff. It's time I expose these evil people. That day of the incident in Payless, all I wanted was to buy is a Snickers chocolate bar and a peach green tea. This lady, so
It's in the comments.
his name is Cookie. The cop that they're talking about. That's why we call it Payless's Cookie Monster. And the reason, aside from, we're going to call this stuff out, the reason we believe that this is true is because, one, we know who Cookie is, and that sounds exactly like
Something
Cookie.
he would say.
It sounds exactly like something Cookie would say and do. And number two, this ain't the first time this has happened to someone at Payless. Who was that? It was Carlos, not Carlos Pangilinan, but Carlos, our friend from Jigo, who was banned from Payless. This was like a year ago because he was friends with Johnny and Troy.
Carlos was in the back. We were doing construction.
And I did a live, and he was in the background.
And then he ends up, yeah.
The black shirted security guards told him he's no longer allowed inside Payless, and poor guy was just going in to buy a drink. And I told him, I was like, what were you doing shopping at Payless anyway? I thought we're friends. Anyway, we thought we'd just end the show on a lighter note. So thank you so much for joining us. We got to take this call. For Kandit News, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Goodbye.